What happens when you stop chasing someone? Not a dramatic exit, not a final talk, just the end of the pursuit. No more double text, no more over explaining, no more auditioning for a role in someone else's life. Most people assume the connection will simply die. They fear that if they stop pulling the rope, the other person will just walk away. But psychology suggests something much more disruptive happens. Today, we're looking at the mechanics of absence versus effort and why your silence is often the loudest thing you can say. Chasing isn't an act of love. It's an act caused by uncertainty. In psychology, this is the most addictive schedule of reward. If someone is hot and cold, your brain treats their attention like a jackpot. You keep betting more effort, hoping for a payout. You chase the version of them you hope recognize your value. But here is the hard truth. You cannot negotiate desire. By chasing, you are subconsciously telling the other person that their presence is a prize and your presence is a commodity. You have effectively crashed your own market value. The moment you stop, you create a vacuum. Humans are wired to notice changes in patterns. Your chasing was a constant. Now the constant is gone, the other person's ego loses its primary source of validation. They no longer have to wonder, what do they want from me? Now they have to wonder, why don't they want me anymore? This triggers psychological reactance, the urge to reclaim a freedom or a status that was just taken away. Suddenly, they aren't looking at your effort, they are looking at your absence. When the silence sets in, one of two things happens. The reach out. They send a checking-in text. It's usually low effort. Understand this. They aren't necessarily missing you. They are missing the feeling of being chased. If you jump back into the chase immediately, the cycle resets. Or sometimes they don't reach out. This is the outcome most people fear most, but it's actually the most valuable. It is the psychological audit. It proves the connection was a monologue you were performing alone. You didn't lose a relationship. You lost a job you weren't being paid for. The most profound change isn't what happens in their head. It's what happens in yours. When you stop chasing, you stop the cortisol spikes associated with waiting for a notification. Your nervous system moves from hunter mode to observer mode. Psychologically, you reclaim internal authority. You start to realize that the person you were chasing was actually a projection of your own needs. Silence doesn't just test them, it heals you. So, what really happens when you stop chasing? You stop being a fan and start being a protagonist. You stop chasing attention and start attracting clarity. You realize that quiet power isn't about winning a game of chicken, it's about realizing you don't need to play the game at all. Because at the end of the day, the right people don't require a chase. They require a conversation. And whether they come back or not, you win either way. The moment you stop chasing, you finally meet yourself again. Stop running and see who meets you where you stand. For more psychology insights, hit subscribe and join the Mind Grid.